What, obviously it was kind of a tale of two halves on Saturday.
Yeah.
What did you ultimately kind of take away from it?
We could be really good now, if we can put two halves together. Mason wasn't awful the first half, right? And it wasn't awful the first 10 minutes of the second half. Now, the fourth 10 minutes, I'm not going to talk about. Pitt, same thing. First half, we just... I don't want to defend. I don't want to give these guys excuses, but it's exam week. It's the first time these young guys are going through it. And, we got our academic advisor with us. They're taking tests. They're doing papers the night before you play at 2:30. So, I think they were overwhelmed a little bit. And then once they cleared their head and we got after it at halftime, they came out and played really good basketball. They really did. They played good basketball. We got to just get back to defending and rebounding and competing as hard as we can. I also think we worry about fouling too much. And that's been something, a little bit of an Achilles heel for me over my 5 years. Our teams have fouled too much. So we've been working on not fouling. Well, guess what? We're not fouling anymore, but we're not competing at all. You know what I mean? Because we're worried about fouling. So we got to go old school a little bit this week and get back to our roots of competition and defend and rebound and play hard and that toughness that we used to have.
The kind of reaction and the tone that I've seen, at least from fans, is wondering what what the morale, I guess, because that can be maybe a demoralizing experience when that happens in the first half. But can you just kind of share how you feel? Like?
Morale was good. I mean, if the morale wasn't good, you don't come back and compete and cut it to nearly 4 with 2 minutes to go, and have a chance to get a good stop with the shot clock going down. I mean, morale is good. But we can't keep doing that to ourselves. I mean, it's been a common theme with this group. Again, they're young. They don't realize that they have to play hard every single possession that you're on the floor. And those ones that you take off are ultimately affecting the outcome of games. So we need to do a better job at that. And we will. And we're going to work on that. And they know it. They know it. They're responding very well to coaching. They're responding very well to the willingness to get better. And that's what we need to do.
Do you think having the experience of going through having the inconsistency in the halves, are they starting to see that? And can that kind of help propel them to be more focused now for the full 40 minutes?
That's why we put such a difficult non-conference together. So for us, our strength of schedule right now is 43. I think we were 9-1 or 10-1 a couple years ago. Our strength of schedule was like 180 or something, right? So this is legit. This is real deal stuff. And I learned my lesson a couple years ago by if we're going for wins, well, we're not going to be prepared for the Big Ten. And, yeah, I would like our win-loss record to be a little bit better right now, but we're learning. They're learning on the job, so to speak. They're learning on the job. And hopefully that will prepare us for the Big Ten. They played against Duke. They played against Cincinnati. They played against GW. They played against Mason. Now they've played against Pitt. So we should be ready for December 27th to prepare us, for how difficult the Big Ten slate is.
What are you looking for in the last 2 games here?
I'm looking for I want us to compete for both halves. It's really about that. It's really about just getting better and competing for both halves. That's what I'm looking to see. Today we have our first practice. We're in the middle of exams. We're going to go for maybe 75 minutes tops. I want to see us compete. And then tomorrow when we come back, compete, play hard, work on our habits. That's what we got to get back to our foundation of defending and rebounding and playing hard and together. That's what we're going to work on.
One thing that I noticed during your 4-game win streak before George Mason was that 3 of the games you won the rebound battle. The only game that you didn't win the rebound battle in was Georgia Tech, but you obviously pulled off that win as well. Not to make it a thing to say, okay, rebounding is the key to getting these games, but what would you say, just looking at these last 2 games, what's going to make you guys get back in that groove that you once were in during that run?
Playing hard, defending, and rebounding. I'm sorry to be so boring for you today, but it really just comes down to that. Because if you play hard, well, it'll clean up some of your weaknesses. And then if you defend and rebound, that means you can get out and score some easy baskets. and that not have to, sometimes it become a grind out game. I never wanted this team to be grinding anything out. I wanted to get up and down and move the ball as quickly up the floor as we possibly could. But you can't do that if you don't defend and rebound and play hard.
Has it been hard to kind of channel the focus this week with final exams and kind of set practice schedule? What's the approach there?
Yeah, that started last week. A lot of the professors, the exams, take-home exams, or online exams were, last week, papers last week that filtered through the weekend, and most of them should be finished tomorrow morning at this point, which is great news. But it wasn't good news for last week. So it's really, a juggling act of balance of, okay, I got to take care of this paper, I got to study here, but I also have practice, I got to know the scout, we got film, we're doing this, we're doing that. So it's a fine line of the balancing act. And now that they understand it a little bit more, I think we'll be that much better as we head into the Big Ten season.
You mentioned St. John's youth on the conference call on Monday. Can you give a little more of a read as to what kind of a team you're going to be facing?
All I have was their stats. I am so focused on Penn State and Penn State basketball and what we need to do to get these kids better, to get these kids where I feel really good about December 27th. I know they're young. Coach Mullen's a great coach. Pons has been lightening up. I know they make 10.5 threes a game. I know everybody on the floor can make a three. I know they just lost their center. I know we're just as young as them. So these are the things I know for sure. But I have not put my eyes on any of their film.
Is that typical for you to be at this point in the week and
yeah,
not?
we don't play till Sunday.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, is today Wednesday? Yes. Yeah. So I'll start watching them probably Friday and get a good feel. And what we need to do is clean up us. The old John Wooden theory, it's got to be about you and what you can control and what you need to correct and what you need to fix. Fix that. Then we can start worried about St. John's. It doesn't matter, right? If we go to St. John and we know all their sets and we know their calls and all this great stuff, it doesn't matter if we don't know who we are and we can't take care of our own business. That's where we are right now. The 4-game winning streak was great. We got away with some of the things, some of our weaknesses. The last two teams exploited those weaknesses. Now we got to clean those up.
You said a couple of times about Mike that he might not realize how good he can be yet. Does that help him in that maybe he's just out there worried about playing and that's not in his head at all?
The good news is he doesn't know how good he is yet. He's very coachable, and he's going to listen. He's going to listen to what we're asking him to do, and that's a great thing. And he doesn't have a million people in his ear, and that's a great thing. But there are times, you just wish, give us both halves. Give us that consistency. Give us that dominant post player that we really need at this point. And he'll get there. He'll get there. And he showed it at GW. Incredible game, right? He played really well at Wright State with 8 blocks. And then he played a great second half against Pitt. So we need to find some consistency, not just with Mike, but with this team and with these younger guys.
What is it about them that maybe it's lacking in getting that consistency for the younger guys? Do they not always, like for Mike, for example, would you like him to demand the ball more?
Yeah, you know what? I just think he just doesn't know yet how hard you have to play every possession, and then he just doesn't realize every possession you got to either go block shots, play great ball screen defense, or box out, or low to whatever, and then as far as the offensive end, he's got to duck in, he's got to seal, he's got to post up, he can't be standing. Just little things that are correctable. That still gets me very excited, and I said this to the team. I'll share it with you. There's a much, much better team within this team right now. We just got to rip it out, and then it's going to come out because we have not hit on all cylinders yet.
Defense and rebounding aside, now that you have this kind of even distribution in scoring.
Can you imagine 5 players in double figures?
Sure. It's crazy. Anyway. Do you ever get the sense that when there is a drought, when things aren't going well the way that they were on Saturday, that guys are maybe looking for somebody else to
No,
make
you know,
play?
you know what happens? They all want to do it on their own during those droughts, instead of continue to share the ball. We took some bad shots in the first half of that Pitt game, and we took some bad shots in the first half of the George Mason game. and I've been very critical of our team because of that. And they need to share the ball. They need to move the floor. They need to get it side to side. We need to put pressure on the paint. We need to put it in the post. We need to jump stop a little bit more and not get real careless when we do drive the ball. When there's 3 or 4 guys on top of you, like that's the great time for a couple extra passes. And they've done that too. But when we're going through our droughts, we need to get to the free throw line, or we need to get a really, really high percentage shot or uncontested shot that we all feel good about. Like that was a good shot. Like down the stretch at Mason, we had a couple good shots. Mar had a couple good ones. Mike had a couple good ones. Peyton had a couple good threes. Shep had a couple good threes. They didn't go in. And with this group right now, we got deflated because we started missing shots. And we can't be a feel-good team. Feel-good team in the Big Ten, that's not a good formula. We got to be able to defend and rebound, like the second half. Defend and rebound and create opportunities for ourselves.
Do you think panic is maybe a little bit of a part of that ingredient, just
when we're not in a drought? Yeah, they're pressing. Like,
right.
You know, when you're going 1-on-4, 1-on-5, that's pressing. That's trying to make a play. And I respect that they're trying to get us out of that hole. I do. I respect it. I'm not yelling at them. Trust me. I am not yelling. They're just too young. I've been very positive with them. You're fine. It's all right. We'll learn from this. Just don't compound the problem. Just little things like that. Get it on the next. Get it down the road here. Don't worry about it. But we got to be able to trust one another out there during those times of drought.
With Josh getting his first start the other day, is there anything different that he can bring for maybe the first 5 minutes of the game to make?
Yeah, just what he did at the second half of GW. Juice, energy, fire, passion, steals, deflections, creating for others. Just little. He's long. He's athletic. Just use what God has given you, and that's why we wanted to give him that opportunity, and he's earned it. He has earned it. And he's got to rebound the ball. And he's a pretty good rebounder from his position. He's got to do a better job of that as well. He'll get there. He's only been, 6 games? This is only his 6th game. That was only his 6th game. Everybody else was number 11. So he's still got some juice, still got some energy. And we're still getting healthy. We got a lot of guys banged up. So we're going to get there.